She's a phenomenal athlete, and she'll become the first athlete, male or female, to compete in both events at the same Olympic Games.
This is just spectacular. Watch her coming out in really nice technical turns.
The Arctic Winter Games from Whitehorse in the Yukon. The sports are continuing. Action as we are on day 3 of the games. We are honored to host the 2026 Arctic Winter Games in Kwanlin, now known as Whitehorse, on the traditional territories of the Kwanlin Dun First Nation and the Ta'an Quachan Council. As we say hello and welcome to our coverage, day 3 here at the 2026 Arctic Winter Games. I'm Darren DuPont, and welcome to the start of the day. We are going to take you on the next half hour from the beginning of the day here in Whitehorse right through to the end of competition of the day. We've got coffee from one of the amazing local coffee shops here in Whitehorse, which has been one of the really wonderful experiences coming up here to the north in Yukon, has been the local culture, the local food, and especially for somebody like me, the coffee scene. And they have a great local coffee scene here in Whitehorse. Now today, it's going to be a fantastic day. Over at St. Francis, Arctic Sports is going to have a full day of competition. Gymnastics, they're on right now for the first time in these games, first full day of competition for gymnastics. Curling will be on the ice. There will be more hockey. And really excited that Dene Games will continue with stick pull today. We're going to dive into that a little bit later on. Really excited to bring you along with us for that. So buckle up and get ready. Over the next half hour, we're going to take you inside day 3 of the 2026 Arctic Winter Games. For now, let's get to some highlights from the early part of the day. Okay, we're going to start with the snowshoe, the biathlon snowshoe, and that was a really good day on Monday and Tuesday. We were in the 3-kilometer individual and the 5-kilometer individual in biathlon snowshoe. Yukon Sebastian O'Mara, you saw Alaska's June Breeze Parade, Kylie Paige Hayden from Alaska, Mason Pari from Yukon, all won gold medals in the 3K and 5K individuals. In the sprints, Alaska's June Breeze Parade, Yukon Sebastian O'Mara, Grace Post from Alaska, and Mason Pari from the Yukon, they all won golds. That was the biathlon snowshoe. Again, the 3 and 5K individuals and the sprints taking place on Tuesday. Look, it got really cold on Tuesday in Whitehorse. It was down to minus 25. I mean, there was icicles forming on your eyelids this during the day, but the sun sure came out. And we'll move over to the biathlon ski event, and Alaska's Eva Driggs was able to pick up a gold in the sprint on Tuesday. Northwest Territories Jackson Coombs also picked up a gold medal. Yukon continues their strong medal haul in the biathlon ski event with a couple more gold medals. Neve Hupe and Logan Tershman both won gold medals for Yukon. That was in the sprint on Tuesday. The biathlon skiers, they'll get a little bit of a break on Wednesday. They've got the day off, but it was wonderful conditions. You can even see the flags blowing at the finish line as the conditions, the wind was up and it was cold. So hats off to all these young athletes for their work and what they did on the ski, on the biathlon, both in the ski and the snowshoe today. And you'll see in some of the other events as well that were outside. It was a little chilly here in the Arctic Winter Games for sure. Let's move inside now and a break from the cold air with the Arctic sports. We'll get to the head pull. And we had some medals handed out in this. Look at the strength in this. This is one of the toughest events in the Arctic Winter Games, and it's one of those wonderful cultural events too. Inside the gymnasium you see there. And we had a gold medal for Greenland, and Inutek Josefsson winning the gold in the head pull. Augustin Greetham picked up the silver for Yukon, and a bronze medal for Team Yukon as well in the head pull. Matthew Jacobson of Yukon picking up the bronze medal. So Greenland, the gold, and a couple of medals for Yukon, the silver and the bronze in Arctic sports, which will continue throughout the week. This is, again, just a wonderful event. And Look at all the fans who showed up inside the gym to watch this one. The crowd was fantastic, and there you see the medals being handed out, and Inatek Josefsson of Greenland getting that gold Ulu medal, those wonderful medals. Basketball, here we go. Alberta beat Yukon, U19 female basketball, and Alberta with that win over the Yukon stays unbeaten, and they'll meet Nunavut to wrap up the round robin Wednesday. The Northwest Territories, you watched a little bit of that, they beat Nunavut, and then it was Nunavut over Alaska later on in the day. In men's basketball, U19 male basketball, the Yukon beat Nunavut. They're now 2-0, and they got two big games tomorrow in pool play. Alaska fell to the Northwest Territories in some action Tuesday afternoon, and it was Alberta and Nunavut in a later game. So basketball heating up, a little more play to happen in pool play on Wednesday on day 4 of the games. And here's some highlights from the male action. So inside the gym, basketball really been heating up here at the games and getting towards medals in those sports towards the end of the week. A lot of anticipation rising there. We'll move over into the curling rink. And how about Alberta? They are rolling right now. In the female curling, Alberta into the final with a win today. That is coming up tomorrow. That is the rink made up of Jordan Bumstead, Allie Grant, Kaylin Jones, and Livy McSimmons, who are curling out of Grand Prairie in Alberta. And on the men's side, we've got some action. Alberta also into Wednesday's final. A really tight win. This is the Helmriches out of Grand Prairie. Dieter Helmrich, Hayden Helmrich, Roland Helmrich, and then Cale Miker making up that Team Alberta. So we got to finish up the semifinal tomorrow, and then we'll get into medals in both the women's and the men's curling tomorrow, and then we'll get into mixed doubles a little bit later on in the week starting on Thursday. So some really exciting action as the Page playoff got underway on Tuesday here at the Arctic Winter Games. Great little takeout the end of that one to score. And now we'll get to figure skating on the day. And this, in figure skating, was the short program as they were on the ice. Alyssa McClellan with the gold medal there in the U18 female class. Isabella Shears, a couple of medals for Alberta you saw. Maya Husey out of Alberta. Northern Alberta did really well in the first day of figure skating here. A silver medal as well for Yukon, and Laura Daniela Ruiz, a good score for a silver, and Talia Pickett picking up the bronze. Grace Baker, a gold medal for Alaska in the short program, the U18. That was in Class 3. Kristen Harder, the silver medal for Alberta, and Leah Sophie Lariviere, the bronze medal for Team Yukon, you see there, as the short program continues. So highlights from curling, from figure skating, and the skiing as well, as you see a couple of more medals rolling in too. So Day 3 at the Arctic Winter Games continues on, and all the coverage you'll be able to watch on HTN and the Arctic Winter Games app. Download wherever is convenient for you. You can watch live and you can watch on demand. It's app.hometeamlive.com. You can also download the official Arctic Winter Games app and watch all of HTN's live coverage on the official app, plus all the bonus coverage. Michael J. is doing the Den Report, the Sports Den. You can catch that on the app as well. So really, really awesome stuff. Again, app.hometeamlive.com, or download the official Arctic Winter Games app to watch all the coverage live and on demand from the 2026 Arctic Winter Games. All right, let's check out the moment of the day today. This was inside the Canada Games Center, handing out medals in figure skating. Look at the Alberta flag. Wonderful stuff there. It's the moment of the day. Figure skating medals handed out, those beautiful Ulu medals. So much history. Back with more after this. Yeah, welcome to the Snow Snake at Mount Seamet. The snow is up to my waist. Literally, we are going the depths to get you coverage of the 2026 Arctic Winter Games. It's going on right behind me, and it's really cool. But we had to really trek through the Arctic snow to get to the coverage. But we're going to get it. Okay, to learn more on the snow snake, really happy to be joined by Asher Stevens of Team Alaska. First of all, how was it out there?
Very cold, and it was very fun to do this for the first time and compete for a snow snake in the first time. Yeah, I think it was a good experience for me.
Growing up in Canada, Alaska, we know cold. Doesn't matter. It's still cold, even if you've grown up in it. Temperatures are getting to like minus 25 today, but you're bundled up. You're at least staying warm?
Yeah, I'm very warm. These jackets are very comfortable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me about the snow snake. What is it?
Snow snake is where you have a long pole-like stick, and it's sharpened at the end, and you're throwing it from the balance point, and you're trying to slide it across the ice as far as you can, and it's a distance game. So as far as you get it, that's how much you have. Yeah.
How did you get into snow snake?
I got into snow snake because I got joined to the Dene team, which I thought was very lucky of me because I did not expect to get onto this team.
And tell me about practice. How do you practice? How do you get good at it? How do you improve?
You could just practice by taking it slow and just learning how much it weighs and how fast it can go.
Yeah. And how far can you throw it?
Oh, I haven't measured.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Long ways. Tell me about the experience being in Yukon and what does it mean to be at the Arctic Winter Games for you?
It means a lot because I just think it's a really big event that I get to be a part of, and it's very special for me.
Very cool. And your week so far has been good?
Yeah, very good. Very cold.
Yeah, very, very cool. Are you meeting new other friends, athletes from other territories, doing any pin trading, having some fun like that?
Yeah, I've made like a lot of friends. I'm really happy that there's a lot of people here and a lot of friends to make.
Awesome, Asher. Appreciate this. Congrats on the snow snake and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you. You too.
All right, let's check out some more highlights. Great stuff, Asher Stevens. Appreciate you for joining us. And man, he was cold, but he really did really well in that snow snake. We're going to get to some snow snake highlights in a bit. First, alpine skiing. Let's keep looking at this. This was a lot of fun, the alpine skiing. You can see some of the results here. The hill was actually running really fast today. It was the slalom on Tuesday. That's what was going on. U14 female Anya Louise Beckes out of Alaska with the gold medal. In the U14 males, it was Roger Luxemburger, a gold medal for Team Yukon. In the U16 females, Josephine Kelly de Jager, a gold medal for the Yukon, and the hosts really starting to clean up a little bit and having a really great game so far. In U16 men, a gold medal there. So really great stuff on the Alpine Hill over at Mount Sema. Again, cold today, but the snow is very powdery and running very, very quick. Let's take a look at gymnastics now, and you can see Team Yukon in the team competition, U18 females. A score of 1-10. Look how close that was against Team Alberta North. Wow. Beautiful stuff inside on the floor as you see the team competition underway. Alaska finishing just off the podium. Team Northwest Territories picking up the bronze medal. But again, what a really close finish between Yukon and Alberta North. It was Yukon picking up the gold medal in the team competition U18 female that took place today in gymnastics. And again, more great stuff. The gymnastics will continue, again, only on a couple of days. So tomorrow, I believe, is the day off. They'll be back on the floor on Thursday. But congratulations, Team Yukon, on their gold medal in gymnastics in the team competition. All right, next we'll go back inside the gym, more Arctic sports, and we've got the kneel jump. U17 female saw an impressive performance from Nina Sigurdsson, captured the gold medal, a jump of 102.8 centimeters. Maya Bogger earned the silver medal, a jump of 96.5 centimeters, and Caden Ilikwa secured a bronze medal, a mark of 89.5 centimeters. In the U17 male, it was Carl Jack Van Blarkum delivering a standout performance to win a gold medal. 140.9 centimeters. Alaska's Joseph Roger took home the silver, and a bronze medal for Greenland's Brian Tobiasen. And Greenland just outside the podium as well, finishing in fourth place. So wonderful stuff on the kneel jump there. And then there was a lot more action going on, and that will continue. The Arctic sports, several of them. The one-hand reach, that was going on today as well inside the gymnasium. And let's just watch some of the action here. Looking at the bottom and top of your screen, you can see in all four corners, this is the coverage from HTN inside the gymnasium. You're able to see all the action, including you can see all the fans that are there as well. As the one-hand reach continued on throughout the day. And you can just see exactly, it's the technique that's really important here. A real Arctic sport that is steeped in culture. It's designed to test balance, core strength, and concentration. So you kneel, you support with one hand, and then you got to reach up and try and catch this target with the other one. So you push back as well, and you can just see the athleticism. It's a really tough competition. It tests a lot of flexibility too and strength. Let's get to badminton next. As you can see happening here inside the Canada Games Centre. U16 girls singles. Alberta Norths finished the round robin unbeaten. That was Aditi Hiju finishing 4-0, matching a strong performance from Greenland as well, and Alberta North just in second and third right now. U16 boys singles, it was Bruno Nathanson from Greenland, led the field, was 5-0, really impressive, along with Alberta North's William Gavino in that mix as well. In the U18 boys singles, Alberta North's Christoph Yeo and Fabian stood out with a perfect 4-0 record, while Yukon's Ezekiel Garez and Daniel Hu both finishing strong at 4-1. So you can see the badminton will continue as well. Really busy inside Canada Games Centre, which is actually where we'll go next, back out to the snow, and we'll get to the Dene Games as well. This is the culmination. This is what we were waiting for throughout the day, was the snow snake. We were out there. You saw me trudging through the snow. It was deep. It was hard to get to, but you know what? Everybody showed up, and how beautiful this scene was. I mean, this is picturesque Arctic Winter Games right here. In the U18 male, Drew Hobson from Alaska won the gold. This is the U18, 86.41 meters. And how about this? U18 female, Abigail Aray from the Northwest Territories won gold, 43.48 meters. Now let's get to the open and listen to this. Tyreek Skirve out of the Yukon won gold, 293.3 meters in the snow snake. And in the open field, Micah Vist out of Greenland, a gold, 184.4 meters. That is really, really cool stuff. So we welcome you now inside the Canada Games Centre. Look around. We are at badminton. It is done for the day. Okay, we are later in the day. It is finished. It was all action going on here. If you can listen really closely, you'll see some sports happening just over there. Wrapping up futsal. They're wrapping up a little bit of hockey just on the other side of that wall. But a little happier to be inside now, where it's a little, let's say, warmer than it was earlier today when we were out checking out the snow snake. But hey, we've got more to come today, including a look ahead to Wednesday's action and day 4 at the Arctic Winter Games here from Whitehorse. We'll take a look at that and a whole lot more, including an update to the medal standings as well. How are the hosts doing from Yukon? We'll tell you after this break. You're watching the 2026 and our coverage of the Arctic Winter Games. Welcome back inside the Canada Games Centre as our continuing coverage of the Arctic Winter Games continues here from Whitehorse. And happy to have you with us tonight, wherever you may be watching this across the network. And what a day it was. You know, we started, if you were watching right from the top of the hour, way back at the beginning of the day. And that was a long time ago now. We were grabbing our morning coffee and braving the cold to head out to Mount Sema and check out the snow snake and some alpine skiing. They were in the slalom there as well. It was a really fun day, and really hats off to the entire crew putting this on. We've got volunteers all over the Arctic North here in Yukon putting on these games, including our HTN staff that are putting on all of the streams across every single venue and every single event. We went out to the hill and watched them braving the cold just to get out there and bring you coverage throughout these Arctic Winter Games. So a big hats off to everybody who braved the minus 25 temperatures and the wind chill, even south of that throughout the day. So really good stuff today. Look, let's take a look at those updated medal standings and tell you who's on top of the table right now. Well, we'll get to some results first. In biathlon, it was Alaska picking up a good chunk of medals here. Same with Yukon, both with 5 medals each in the biathlon snowshoe, but Alaska 3 gold medals to separate just a little bit. We can keep rolling through these a little bit. Let's go next to cross-country skiing and 10 medals for Alaska. There's the Sapmi region from Scandinavia with 2 gold medals in the cross-country skiing, 6 medals overall to sit in second place there. What is next? We'll go to figure skating, and that got underway as well. Alberta North, 6 medals. We saw them. They were on top of the podium if you watched earlier in our moment of the day. 2 gold medals, 3 silvers, and a bronze for Team Alberta North in figure skating in the short program. Gymnastics, you saw the Yukon in the team competition today picking up the gold. Alberta North, the silver, and the Northwest Territories taking home the bronze medal, and that one is gymnastics just getting underway here on day 3. So let's take a look now and sit on this for a minute in the overall medal standings. Alaska extending their lead from day 2 of these games into day 3. Now I believe as we sit here, potentially up over 70 medals, 20 gold though to lead the way. But look at Yukon and the hosts. They are right there on their heels. 19 gold medals in second place for Team Yukon, right behind Alaska. Alberta North in third, 6 gold, 9 silver medals, and 7 bronze as figure skating added to Alberta North's medal count. The Northwest Territories holding strong too, and they're surging as we get to the middle of the week here. 8 gold medals, tied with Greenland. And Greenland, 8 gold medals, 3 silver, 5 bronze, right in the middle. The Sapmi Nation with 5 gold, 3 silver, and 4 bronze. Everybody's got medals. Nunavut's got 6 medals, and Nunavik out of northern Quebec, they've got 4 medals to round out the medal standings. But check all the results of the games at the Arctic Winter Games site, AWG2026.org, or download the official Arctic Winter Games app for the latest in the results. Let's get to tomorrow's schedule, because day 4 is really going to heat up. We'll get to the individual competition in wrestling and scan this QR code to get the schedule. Wrestling gets into the individual competition. In cross-country skiing, they'll get into the 600 to 1,000 meter sprint. Arctic sports gets maybe the most exciting day of the games, the knuckle hop. Mark it down at St. Francis at 3 p.m. That's happening as we look at some sports here in our final minute of coverage. Tomorrow, alpine skiing, the parallel slalom is going on. Curling will be on the ice with the semifinals early in the day, and the gold medal match at 7 o'clock. That happening on day 4. The Dene Games will be the hand games happening tomorrow. It's the free skate in figure skating. They'll finish the round robin in futsal. In hockey, it'll be the semifinals of the U18 males. In the U19 females and the U15 males, they'll finish up the round robin on day 4. Snowboarding will hit the slopes with slope style tomorrow. Snowshoeing, it's the short distance combined with the exciting 4x400 meter relays. And in table tennis, get dialed in because medals will be handed out in singles in table tennis. That's all happening on day 4 of the Arctic Winter Games starting tomorrow. So looking forward to that one. Look, we'll bring you back in one final time and say thank you so much for your coverage watching tonight from wherever you may be watching from. The Arctic Winter Games are something special, and we'll be back tomorrow with continuing coverage from day 4 of the Arctic Winter Games here from Whitehorse in the Yukon. I'm Darren DuPont. Good night, and thanks for watching.